Thank you, and be seated. So, welcome to the MEDEX graduation ceremonies for Tacoma Class 4. It's a big day for everyone, a special day for the graduates. I want to, again, welcome everyone to this. I want to be the first to say congratulations to the graduates. We're going to be handing you your certificates here shortly. I want to review the agenda for this morning. I also want to be introducing our department chair in just a moment. Before that, I just have a few words, and I just want to say that a journey like this is a challenging one, one that doesn't begin when they enter the program. It often begins several years before they arrive. So I want to recognize the work and effort that this group of individuals has put forth and to become the physician assistants that they are today. So congratulations on that, young folks. I also want to recognize that the folks in the audience who supported you on this journey as well. So I'm just going to ask if you'll indulge me for a moment and just please stand, turn, and recognize those folks in attendance who supported you through this. So if you do that for me. Thank you. I want to review the agenda. So I will say that while this is a formal ceremony, MEDEX really takes pleasure in recognizing that this is an informal ceremony at the same time. And so as your graduate comes across this stage this morning, feel free to get up and take a photo of them for that memorable photo opportunity. I also want to say to the graduates, I want to take you back just a couple of years and say, remember on the interviews that you guys had with this program? And that seemed like a while ago now? I want to remind you that you were the select few that got in this program, and there were some statements made during that time about meeting the mission of the MEDEX program, and we hope that our mission fit the values that you have. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all go out and serve the citizens in our state, region, and country, because our nation needs individuals like you who care deeply about others. You're not only going to be delivering high-quality health care to individuals, you're going to be leaders in your community. And we have dire need of sincere and genuine leadership in our communities right now. We need individuals who are going to unite instead of divide. And I know from having gotten to know you all from the selection and through the last 2 years in this program that each of you have extraordinary talents, not just in being a good clinician, but also in being able to bring people together and caring for folks no matter where their background or where they come from. So I look forward to seeing your careers unfold. Today's agenda. So we're going to hear from some dignitaries. We're going to hear from some of the student leaders. We're going to be presenting some awards, and these awards have been selected by the faculty. The students have been selected by the faculty, and they are surprises to the individuals, so they won't know until the individual announces their name. Then we're going to award the certificates. We're also going to, I want to recognize that as we finish today, please don't leave until we get that last group photo of you, okay? Because for those in attendance, MEDEX is really, we consider ourselves a family. And we keep photos of every graduating class in the various sites up on the wall. So we recognize all of us. So from very first class here in Tacoma to your class, we keep photos as documenting the history. And this is a very important day and a historical day for Class 4 in Tacoma. So please don't leave. So MEDEX is a significant part of the University of Washington School of Medicine, and I want to say that bringing greetings from the School of Medicine is Dr. Paul James. Dr. James is a professor and chair of the Department of Family Medicine. He attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he received his baccalaureate and medical degrees. He completed his family medicine residency training at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. He then moved, he was recruited to Iowa as the first Iowa Academy and Family Physicians Endowed Chair in Rural Medicine, and founded the Iowa Research Network. In 2005, he became chairman and executive officer of the department, and in 2010 was named the Donald J. and Anna M. Otali Endowed Chair of Family Medicine. Dr. James brings expertise to the UW Department of Family Medicine in several areas, including rural medicine, which is important for our region, ambulatory medical education, practice-based research, measurement of healthcare quality for patients with cardiovascular diseases, and team-based care. That team-based care does include PAs, and I can genuinely say that Dr. James is a strong proponent of physician assistants. So please welcome Dr. James to the podium.
So, on behalf of the University of Washington, the School of Medicine at the University of Washington, and the Department of Family Medicine, I bring first congratulations to the graduates. We are very proud of you and your accomplishments. This is your day, and so we're really excited about that. So thank you for the hard work you've put in and for the promise that you and hope that you instill in all of us of what you're going to accomplish in the future. Also, on behalf of the university, I want to give a special thanks and welcome to the family and friends and loved ones of these graduates who are here to celebrate this day. We know that accomplishments like what these graduates will experience today really never occurs alone. We all actually need teams, don't we? Those teams begin with our families, and so it's really important for someone like me to really signify the importance of family and friends in helping us to achieve our goals within healthcare. A special thanks to faculty and preceptors and for all the work that you've done, because without you, the accomplishments of our graduates would not be here today. So having given those thanks, I guess then I have some comments for you, the graduates. These are for all of us, though, because I hope that these can remind us of why we're here today. So healthcare in America has become a really complex enterprise. It's not anymore that we need to be smart. It's not anymore that we need to be caring or even hardworking. All those things are important. But what's really important in almost any endeavor that we have is that we are part of a great team. In America today, we're not delivering the health care we need for all the citizens. We have people that don't have health insurance. We have people that struggle to get in to see a health care provider. And how do we make sure that we're delivering the right care to the right person at the right time? And the physician assistant profession has actually been one of the most important innovations in healthcare in the last 50 years to help us create teams that improve access and improve quality. And so I want to highlight then how important that teamwork is and your role in that. So let's just think for a minute. This is not intended to scare you. But right now, out there in the world, there are people living their lives, and they are on an unstoppable journey that's going to put them right in front of you. And they're going to ask you, can you help? Can you give me the healing that I need? And it's really important that we use today as the leverage point from all the training that you've had to what you hope to accomplish in the future. So those people's stories have begun, and your story has begun. And how are you going to be prepared and ready to meet those challenges? One of the things I think that the PA profession does very well is It comes from the roots of the military. My very first day of practice, Terry listed all my accomplishments. My most important and impressive accomplishment is that I was a rural family doctor for 5 years before I failed my way into academic medicine. And in those first 5 years, I actually worked with 2 PAs that were Vietnam veterans, very experienced clinicians who gave this young doctor a lot of insight into the world and how to be prepared for the world. I want to step back and share with you a story. And the story then is to have you think about the team that you're going to be a part of. And what I'm going to emphasize is the message that I hope to deliver with you, and that is the most important ingredient that you have to offer your patients is this thing called hope. Hope. So I want you to come back with me. It's my 3rd year of practice in this little rural town. I went back to practice in the clinic that I was born in a rural town in North Carolina. It was November, and it was a very busy rural practice. It was Friday evening, and I was exhausted. I did on call every other night, taking care of my patients. And it was Friday night, and I was looking for a breather. My older brother, who was a farmer in the community, called me up and said to his younger brother, "Hey, let's go to the high school football game." And we were losing that year. Not that that should have mattered. I was the team doctor. That should give me energy and enthusiasm. But it was raining and cold, and you know what? I wasn't my best self. But my brother talked me into it, and he said, "I'll come pick you up. Don't worry about it." And we take off to go to the high school. The high school is about 5 miles from my little town, and it's a rural road. It's dark and it's raining, and in front of us are lights, and they're the lights of the fire trucks and rescue squads, and clearly there's a terrible accident that's in front of us. And my brother, like all farmers in the rural community, he's a fire department member, and he's out, "Let's go." And I'm thinking, they don't want a smart aleck doctor up there. There's EMTs, they know what they're doing. But really, that was more about my own, let's say, just not being my best self. And you will see this, you probably did see this when you were in training, that sometimes even doctors, nurses, members of the healthcare team may not be their best self. We're not our best selves when we don't elevate patients and think about the ways that we can help them to be their best. So what seemed like a long time, I will admit, was maybe 30 seconds. And I sat there and I saw the highway patrolman come out to his car, and he was radioing. And I thought, I'll just ask him. He probably doesn't need my help. And I didn't get my question out because he immediately recognized me and said, "Dr. James, can you please get up there?" This young man, he's 16, was on his way to the football game. He pulled out on the highway. That's his house right there. And a drunk driver hit him head on. So this is a fairly dire situation. There's the darkness, and then there's the bright lights of the workers, the EMT, and I step into the light, and everything gets quiet, and there's one sentence that I hear, which is a statement to mom and dad saying, everything's going to be okay now. Dr. James is here. Okay, that is pressure. You thought your exams were hard. Yeah, that's pressure. And in fact, you know, when we're thinking about our real problems, it becomes about us. And that's not why we went into this. And while today is about us and the celebration of your graduation, it really is not. It's about all those people you're going to be able to help. So I'm going to say that I resorted to all the things that you've learned to do. A, B, C. Okay? Let's check airway. Is he breathing? He can respond. He's answering my questions. Circulation. The young man trying to get the IV in was trembling too much, and all he needed was for me to hold the young boy's skin more tautly. And the IV went in immediately when I did that, and the technician smiled. And then within maybe 3 minutes, the jaws of life finally did get into the right position, and we were able to get him out and into the rescue squad. And he eventually did well. And I tell you that story because what did I really do? I stood there. Actually, technically, the only thing I did was hold skin tautly. But I share that story because, no, actually it was a lot more than that, because that's what I thought. But I want to share with you what the mother taught me. So it had been several weeks, and I got very frustrated because everybody in the community wanted to give me credit and thank the young doctor for heroics. The most heroic thing I did was be there. And the mother explained to me that I said, I think I don't need that adulation. And she said to me, Dr. James, I don't think you understand, because you think that it was just chance. And that for you, chance may be some sort of random event that possibly occurs. But for this young man, his father and I prayed for just a chance. And we recognized he could die, but if he died with you trying to help him, then at least we knew everything that could be done would be done. And that's the promise that you offer people. That's the hope that people expect from you. And she said to me, you don't know the despair that everyone felt until you showed up. And actually then just being there, being that team member that reminds us all we can do this, we can save this person's life, is what is needed, that hope. And all of you have been trained, you're skilled, you're knowledgeable, and now all you have to remember is this magic of hope that you have the ability to give to others. The other part of that story is the importance of the team. Even I, the reluctant participant, was able to be a better self by us working together as a team. And that's your opportunity, and that's your challenge as you move forward. So, let me summarize a few things. Number one, I've shared with you that today's not about you. It's about these other people that are out there, that I'm challenging you to be your best self. And then I've shared with you how I wasn't my best self at times, there are things I'm going to say to you that you can do to make sure that you are your best self, to be that vehicle for hope. And that is, nurture yourselves. Look after yourselves. As part of looking out for yourselves, though, that means you have to look after and nurture those you love. Because if you let that go, you're not going to be your best self at work. So that's these people out there. It's really hard, though, to be the person that gives hope to those at work and those in your family. And sometimes we can feel despair about that. I'm going to encourage you to also, though, look for the hope that patients and family give you. Because it's always there. Sometimes it might be invisible. And so while I've talked about it not being about you and it being about how we help those and how I expect you to be that vehicle for hope, I'm going to close with this today being about you. What a celebration. What hard work you have done. What an accomplishment. You are entering a profession that will have high expectations, that almost seems as if we can never live up to. But the joy of hearing thank you, the joy of feeling that others will live a better life because of the work you do is really enough to energize us all. And so with that, I'm going to conclude by saying congratulations, and go make us proud out there in the world. Thank you.
Good morning, TC4. I promise you are only forced to listen to me speak behind a podium 2 more times, counting this one. If you want to see me speak any other time, you have to go to a CME and choose to actually listen to me. I want to say thank you to the friends and families who came today. Our students couldn't be here without you, and we really appreciate all the time and sacrifice that you've put in. It's interesting, Dr. James talks about being your best self, because I was going to talk to you about having something called a full day. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say full day? Anybody in here know who Jimmy V is? Oh man, you guys must be science nerds. No athletes in here? So the ESPYs. Yep, we know what the ESPYs are? Okay. They're like the Nobel Prize, but for jocks. So you guys should understand that. Jimmy V was a wonderful philanthropist and humanitarian in the sports world. And there's this award ceremony called the ESPYs. And in the ESPYs, somebody gets an award. It's called the Arthur Ashe Courage and Humanitarian Award. And Jimmy V was given the first one when they first started the ESPYs a few decades ago. And I remember sitting there at home with our old TV with the rabbit ears, watching with my dad, who didn't have any sons yet, so we watched sports with him, all the girls. And Jimmy V stood up and gave this speech that kind of rocked my world. And he talked about having something called a full day. He says, in order to have a full day, you need 3 things. 1, you need to laugh. You need to have a day where you find humor in what's going on around you. 2, you need to have the opportunity to think, use your mind, expand your mind. And 3rd, you need to definitely have a shift of your emotions where you're brought to tears at some point. And sometimes they're tears of happiness, and sometimes they're tears of sadness. But when you are a provider out there practicing, you're going to have patients who give you a full day. And sometimes it's not all in the same day, and sometimes it's not that one patient that gives you all 3 things. But they're going to be patients that you're going to sit there and you're going to learn with them and laugh with them and meet their family and meet their kids that they bring in, and you're going to love laughing with them. And after they leave, you're going to stand there, and you're sitting in your office as well, and you're going to think about them. They're going to make you use your brain, and you're going to think about their diagnosis and their signs and symptoms and what you're going to do about their test results that are going to come in. And then later, and you know test results don't come in the same day, even when you order them stat. You're going to see these test results, and you're going to see this patient back in the clinic. And my hope is that you share tears of happiness with them and tell them that everything is okay. But there are going to be patients that you're going to share tears of sadness with them. because you're going to look at these test results and realize that medicine isn't fair, and it's really tough, and it's okay for you to have a full day and for you to cry with your patients. In fact, most of your days in clinic should be full days. And if you take the time to have a full day with your patients and really experience healthcare with them and really make that kind of approach to them where you want to be with them and you want to be there, you're not there for just a paycheck, then you guys are going to become the wonderful, compassionate PAs that I'll be proud to call my colleagues. Did I ever introduce myself? I'm Jennifer Erickson. I'm the I'm the director here in Tacoma. The students know me, so they usually call me Mom, so I just usually start talking. I'm actually not going to say anything more because I'm known for being very long-winded, but it's my honor today to actually introduce your class president. So the class president was chosen by his peers for his leadership. Not only did he take on the endeavor of PA school, somehow he kept having children during PA school. I think it's mostly his wife doing that. I feel like he's sitting in the classroom a lot, but also said, why not one more thing? Let me also be a leader in the classroom. And so it's my privilege to introduce the next speaker, TC4 Class President Charles Seiler.
Leo Tolstoy, in his epic novel War and Peace, said, "Though the doctors treated him, gave him medications to drink, and let his blood, he nevertheless recovered." There's a reason that they call it practicing medicine. But we are a practice group here today. This graduating class of 29 had an average of 8.5 years of experience before starting this program. And we have only gotten better. And we're here to celebrate today. It is my hope that you enjoy this time and that you're able to cherish these moments with the graduates that are assembled here. Firstly, I would like to thank all those who took the time to attend, to the MEDEX faculty and staff who guided us like little sheep burdened with debt and anxiety, to the family and friends who sacrificed their time, energy, and sanity to support us as we toiled to complete this difficult task. We are grateful to you. If you didn't know, this event is being live streamed, so our family and friends around the world can join us in celebrating today. So I thought that I would do the same, just to stay relevant in 2018. But the truth is, like many of my classmates at this point, I'm broke, and so this is actually just a calculator. But we are relevant in 2018. We are stepping into a position of leadership and service in an industry with tremendous opportunity and need. The projected 10-year job growth for PAs in the United States is 30%. Talk about relevant. But we have earned this relevancy. We have all sought out that dark, uninhabited place where our sleep-deprived bodies could work to convince our caffeine-overloaded minds to cram in just one more disease, one more medication, and one more physical exam. We have sacrificed. We have all given up so much of what we love in order to achieve something greater. I have literally sold my body to pay for school. Now, I'm not proud of this, and my wife really didn't like it. She was worried that donating plasma would leave me with an unsightly scar, but it honestly wasn't that bad, and it gave me time to do homework. But the sacrifices, the real sacrifices that we have made, have given way to something absolutely breathtaking. 29 people ready to care for the sick and the needy, and trained up to do just that with excellence and integrity. See, we dug in and we fought hard against distractions. We missed countless social events as we stayed diligent to our studies. I haven't been to a single one of my friends' parties in the last 3 years. Now, I haven't been invited, but that, well, that's likely because they know the level of dedication and commitment that it takes to complete a program like this. So what have we learned by committing so much? Well, we learned just the second week of this program the value of keeping your mouth shut until the time is right. Dr. Evans, the senior medical director of the entire program, was lecturing in front of the assembled quorum of 120 PA students. when he started drawing a picture of bile salts that he had drawn just 5 minutes before and repeating the same script, like when your computer starts glitching. A student from the back of the auditorium with the naive intention of being helpful, but certainly without forethought, yelled out, "Dr. Evans? Yeah, we already talked about this." And what followed was a version of the airline commercial that ends with, "Want to get away?" I was branded as bile salts guy from that point on. But we have also learned that Dr. Evans will consistently repeat himself to the point where you can create a bingo game with the stories and jokes that he tells that can be played while he lectures. Yet it's these repeated stories that stay in our heads, that remind us in our studies, and that spur us on in our lives. The stories that we all share of making tremendous sacrifice for ourselves, for our families, and for the communities that we live with and serve. These repeated stories come to define the way that we think. Just like Dr. Evans' reminder about B12 and folate deficiency in chronic alcoholics. These are the people who pass by the salad bar on the way to the regular bar. See, they don't consume the nutrients that they need, and then they further deplete the stores that they already have. Every time we celebrated our finals, we would recall these repeated wisdoms, and we were better for it. We always made sure to eat a few bites of salad before drowning our sorrows in vitamin-depleting fluids. Yes, we have learned so much. We feel a sense of accomplishment in knowing that if genetically modified food ever gets to the point where we have to start putting intrauterine contraceptive devices in mangoes, we are prepared for that challenge. If any of our class ever finds a lost pig, loose from a farm, who somehow has gotten its foot nailed to a board and then lacerated, we can suture that pig, and we can change this world. Yes, we will change this world, and some of that is due to how we have changed through this. MEDEX has given us a platform to take off from, a nest from which we will now plunge into an unknown and foreboding world. But we have all changed in order to rise to this challenge. We have all found ourselves attaining a level of discipline that we had hardly even glimpsed before. Just a few months into this program, I was already so disciplined that I was only hitting my snooze button 3 times before getting up. Yes, we have made changes, but not all of the changes have been good. And that's what you have to realize when you undertake something like this, that sacrifices will be made. Hobbies will fall away, relationships will be strained, and even self-care will be on the chopping block. Something so simple as a small amount of exercise just to feel good about yourself can be a difficult thing to accomplish. In the time that it took to complete this program, I'm sure I could have sculpted a great set of abs. But I don't have them, so there's your proof of sacrifice. And I'm pretty sure I remember reading that the diet doesn't actually equate to muscle mass, so yeah, I would have been ripped by now. But we made it through. So what's next for this graduating class after all this hard work? Well, we'll see our classmates practice in surgical specialties, emergency medicine, we'll have hospitalists and primary care providers. But whatever path we choose, I'm confident in knowing that we will continue what we have started and pursued, a tradition of excellence, integrity, and serving the underserved. Some guy named Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The sacrifice which causes sorrow to the doer of the sacrifice is no sacrifice. Real sacrifice lightens the mind of the doer and gives them a sense of peace and joy." Now, there may have been sorrows in this sacrifice, but it certainly has been real. And our minds have been lightened with this sense of peace and joy. A peace in knowing that we're stepping into a great career where we can provide for ourselves and our families. And a joy in realizing the impact that we can have if we simply just take the time to listen. Much like when we started this program, we are faced with a brand new set of unknowns. I am so proud today seeing this group of 29 complete this journey, and so excited to see how we will all pursue this new and exciting future. The French philosopher Voltaire said, "The art of medicine consists of amusing the patient, while nature cures the disease." So now I'll introduce a man who amuses his patients, who has amused us as a class, a man who brought charisma, charm, and hands that strike fear into male patients around the age of 50. The class speaker for this fourth graduating class of MEDEX Tacoma, Mr. Sean Connolly.
Good morning. No. I need more than that, please. Good morning. Today is a wonderful day. Today is a day to celebrate. Although the overwhelming feeling that I have from my classmates is one that is more of relief that we've made it this far, that we are done. It's been amazing to see the transformation of all of us as we've taken this journey together. And that's the greatest thing about the journey, is that we did this together. Today marks what may be for most of us the greatest individual accomplishment of our lives. But as sure as you can hear my voice, not one of us did this alone. I do want to thank the faculty and the advisors of MEDEX for your time, your knowledge, your patience, your toleration of us at certain aspects of this, but I also want to thank all the people who are watching at home, including my daughter, who unfortunately broke her wrist on Wednesday night. We want to thank you. If you are going to be watching this, or if you're going to watch the replay of this, feel free to play the MEDEX Northwest drinking game at home. Your keywords are going to be MEDEX, Tacoma, military, and fire hose. But we thank all of you for taking time out of your day to share that with us. And really, most importantly, I want to thank the friends and family of Tacoma Class 4, not only for coming here today to celebrate with us, but for your encouragement, your love, your compassion over the last 2 years, as we have not really been a part of your lives, certainly in the way that we would have wanted to be. And then finally, to my classmates, I thank all of you. When we started this journey 2 years ago, Terry Scott stood in front of 120 students from our 3 sister programs as well as our own class and gave us a great speech. At some point he mentioned free lunch, and I did tune out after that, I have to admit. You can't talk around food around a big guy. But he said a few things that day, one of which I remember. He looked at all of us as he was telling us about how wonderful the program was, and it slowly drifted into the difficulties that we were going to face. He told us about how tired we would feel. He told us about the frustrations that we may experience. And then he reminded us with 2 hands that you asked for this. Now, in researching this speech, every class before me has mentioned this speech, and every person who has given that speech has talked about the amount of fear that they had. And I can honestly tell you that I did not have that fear. And I didn't sense that fear in my classmates. To be quite honest, we're a competitive bunch. But he was absolutely right. And I understood that that warning was also a disclaimer. But these are the challenges that we're going to face, not only in the 2 years during the program, but also the ones that we're going to face when we get out and we get to practice. As Charles said, it is absolutely practicing medicine. And for the next 3 to 5 years, we may still have the same shaky legs that we all have today. But as we go through this step, I always remind myself that we're still together. Now, today will likely be the last day that the 29 of us will all be together in the same room. And that is the only part about today that is sad to me. There's always calls, there's always texts. But to be with this group of people is something that has been so special. As we have these wonderful moments of individual celebration, I'm thinking about cake, so excuse me for a moment. I love these guys so much. As we go through this, I'm reminded by Terry's words when he told us that this would be this difficult journey. And we heard a statement that day from him, which was reiterated by every other advisor who spoke with us, who said, physician assistant school is an awful lot like trying to drink water from a fire hose. And I thought about that statement, and I understood what it meant at the time that I heard it, and I understood it every time, that you're going to try and take on this high volume of water and that you're actually going to stick your face in this water to get a drink. And the more I thought about it, the more I couldn't put it together. Even my daughter, when she heard my speech, said, "Daddy, like, that would rip your face off." She was right. And I remember talking about this with Curtis, he's this guy I met in PA school. But I met Curtis. And Curtis and I would talk about this, and Curtis had come up, I thought, with something that matched a little bit better. He said, he goes, "I think the PA school is more like swimming in the ocean, the middle of the ocean. And what you see in the distance is this piece of land. And as we go through this, what I understood now, what I see today, is that this stage is that piece of land that we saw. Now, there's some days when you would feel strong and you could take those strokes and that little piece of land would get bigger. There are a lot more days where you weren't as strong, where you were tired. And as the good book says, you should never swim alone. And somehow I was placed in the ocean with these 28 other people. There's times when we had to float. There's times when the current would take us maybe away from our target. But there was always someone there to grab you, to keep you on point. Today is the culmination of that trip. Today's the day that we finally made it to dry land. Today's the day that we got to do the final head count. Ureli, who was going to be the first person that's going to walk across the stage, she had a phrase that she coined. She'd even put a hashtag on it on social media. 29 in, 29 out. You can do that head count today. 29 came in, 29 are coming out of the water today. And what I'm most proud of is that getting here isn't the end of the journey. The journeys continue to go on. We have chosen a path in our careers where we're going to work in service of other people. And there's something that is so fantastic about being able to serve other people. And I just thought about, what are the simplest terms? What are the simplest words that we can use? And essentially, we're going to be people who help other people. And that is a fantastic thing to do. For a long time, I knew that I wanted to help people. I didn't know how I would do that. And MEDEX has given me the opportunity now to focus that in one area. Yes, yay. Yes, yay. But it was, how we do that is different. It's as individual as all of us are. But it was Picasso who said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of your life is to give that gift away. Now, we're all searching for jobs, so if someone is going to pay you a lot of money to give that gift away, you let them give you that money. That is their gift to us. But there's something within that I find is just very, very special. And as we go out today, and as we go out for all of our days, I'm reminded of the words from Dr. Maya Angelou, and this is my favorite quote of all time. And it simply says, people will forget what you have said, people will forget what you have done, but people will never forget how you made them feel. The healing process that we're going to help patients with isn't always about medicine. It's not always about fixing what's wrong. As Dr. James said, it's about being present. It's about being there. And during the last 2 years, we have all been there for each other. I wanted to be able to create memories for all of us. Selfishly, I think I wanted all of you to have a memory of me. But I always wanted to keep things light. I always wanted things to be not always about school, per se. The program was going to take care of all of that. So if we were playing the password game for midterms and finals, I wanted to be able to do that. I would buy a gift card, $25 gift card, and I had the advisors in on it that we'd get a password for the test, and I'd have them hold the last character. Everyone would submit their answers, letters, numbers, special characters. I'm like, no one's ever going to get this because I had never gotten it. I thought, I'm just going to hang out with my gift card at the end of the quarter. Might just watch the game. We may go out and get chicken wings. We don't know. I had to buy 11 of those. But it became a part of what we did. And whether it was bringing in snacks or food, because big guys always like to eat a little bit, or if I'm giving out fictitious awards like the Golden Finger Award. Charles so notably lovely mentioned my hands. I couldn't win an award, but I wanted to make sure that somebody had something. No matter what it was, I just wanted to be able to create memories, because those are the things that we're going to take with us long after we part ways and we go out into the world to do what we're going to do. It has been my honor to share the room with you. It has been my honor to be your classmate, and I think the favorite part for me is that I will forever be associated with all of you. I thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Wow, good speeches. So Charles, you had a lot of quotes in there. I expect you to have a works cited page in AMA format. If you don't, you need to go see Karen Wick in the back after graduation. And Sean, very emotional stuff. I'm an ugly crier, so please don't take pictures of me if I lose it. Good morning. My name's Hannah Chai. I'm one of the faculty members here at MEDEX Tacoma campus. In the mid-1960s, physicians and educators recognized a shortage of primary care physicians. It was during that time that Dr. Eugene A. Stead Jr. from Duke University Medical Center developed the inaugural physician assistant program in 1965. MEDEX's rich history as a PA program goes back to the original class of 1969. Dr. Richard Smith had the vision to create a PA school, and it was from his vision he assembled the first MEDEX class from military veterans. Since then, MEDEX has continued to follow the tradition of honoring our military veterans. At this time, would the veteran students of Tacoma Class 4 please rise so that we can recognize your commitment to serving our country and successfully completing this rigorous program as physician assistants. Remain standing. Thank you, Lee. Trevor, remain standing. What makes this particular campus unique amongst the MEDEX family is that currently all faculty at Tacoma are military veterans, representing the U.S. Army, Navy, and yes, even the Coast Guard. Can you please stand for recognition and remain standing as well? And whether you serve briefly or are currently involved in the military, we appreciate the service you have provided to us also. At this time, would any remaining veterans in the audience also stand so that we can also recognize you for your service? Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. My name's Tim Evans, and I give a lot of lectures. By all salts. You brought it up. We are fortunate at MEDEX, year after year, that we have terrific students. And if you have students like we do, and you put them somewhere in the general vicinity of knowledge, they will soak it up and learn it. And this class is no different than the others. We are also fortunate, and our students are fortunate, that we have some terrific teachers who are willing to come and share their knowledge, experience, and wisdom with our students. And so each year, each graduating class at all 4 sites has the opportunity to choose to honor from among their teachers, people who are really outstanding, and we present them with the MEDEX Golden Apple Award. This year, there were several One thought very strongly that she would be able to be here, so I have a few words to say about her. She, in the event, was not able to make it. These are busy people, and she had to work today. But we will be sure that she and others get their Golden Apple Awards. And I'd like to say just a couple of words about Dr. Annette Sabbath. She's a pathologist from Seattle who's been lecturing in Tacoma since the site opened. She lectures in the pathology course during the fall quarter. Some student quotes were, "Great lecture, easy to follow. I was hanging on her every word." Dr. Sabbath is fantastic. She was very worried about her accent, but she isn't hard to understand at all. She enunciates very clearly and uses humor, body movement, and changes in tone to get her point across. She can make very complex concepts easy to digest. She's a treasure to have. And a third student said, "Dr. Sabbath is simply awesome. She makes the material so easy to understand. Can we get her again?" Please join me in congratulating Dr. Sabbath. And again, we'll be sure that she gets her Golden Apple Award.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Betty Stewart, and I'm the clinical coordinator for MEDEX Tacoma here in Tacoma. I'm here this morning to present the John B. Coombs Leadership Award. This is an award that is decided upon by the faculty. And let me give you a little bit background on John and the reason that we give this award. Dr. Coombs was an Associate Dean for Regional Affairs and Rural Health in the School of Medicine and had a long record of promoting the PA profession. This award is presented to students in each training site who have become role models to their peers, have assumed some of the responsibilities of leadership during their training, and have carried out those responsibilities with integrity, cooperation, and understanding. The student this year that's receiving this award was a quiet leader inside and outside of the classroom. During the application process, we asked students to describe what they can bring to the MEDEX program and to the class that they will enter. We're looking for qualities of leadership that will bring integrity, generosity, and a commitment to the profession. Feedback from faculty and staff about this student during the didactic year was the following. Even in the most stressful situation, this individual always remained kind. This individual came to MEDEX Class 4 with many years as a registered nurse. He was always willing to share his knowledge with his classmates and even shared his home with other students who needed a place to stay when I told them, "You need to travel for your next rotation." We are confident that in his position as a hospitalist at Confluence Health in Wenatchee, this graduate will continue to be a leader and a compassionate, kind physician assistant. This year's John B. Coombs Award for Leadership goes to Reese Bradburn.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you.
My name is Laura Crable, and I was honored to be a part of the Tacoma faculty. As a part of the MEDEX mission, you can read on page 1, the program provides a broad, competency-based curriculum that focuses on primary care with an emphasis on underserved populations. Each one of these students have spent time serving these underserved populations. It is what MEDEX does. So with that, we being MEDEX, has an underserved Award. Students are recognized for exceptional achievement in the care of, improved access for our promotion of public awareness of the needs of the medically underserved. The recipient has demonstrated a strong dedication to ongoing service to underserved communities. I've had the privilege of getting to interview this person. I've had the privilege of learning from her in her time spent in an Indian Health Service clinic as a medical assistant. I've had the privilege of working side by side with this person as she tended to foot care at a clinic in Tacoma. And I will have the privilege of being this person's friend as she continues to serve the underserved with an immense amount of compassion for the rest of her PA career. Olivia Leanne Price.
My name is Jeff McCroskey, and welcome to EKG Refresher number 3. So the Student Writing Award is an award that's given to students from the various training sites who have combined creativity and unique approaches with exceptional writing skills in assigned papers. If you all were anything like I was as a younger, ambitious, and quite frankly terrified new PA student, getting your first writing assignment, you probably thought, really, writing? But as I look back at my progression from my earliest time of developing an interest in medicine all the way through to the present day, it's clear that writing is absolutely the foundation of all healthcare providers. And I encourage you all to give it a shot now that you're graduating. So I read through some of this year's recipients' papers, and I hate reading papers. But I noticed a few things. Going all the way back to her pathophysiology paper, this student, through her writing, has embodied the MEDEX mission of service to the underserved. Number 2, she displayed a profound understanding of many of the problems that face the medical community, specifically PAs, as well as those faced by the financially disadvantaged. And lastly, her papers were consistently engaging, thought-provoking, and written at such a level that I found them to be educational and informative as an 11-year PA veteran. So, looking to the future, I hope to see many more of this student's work in publications in the years to come. And so I'm proud to present this MEDEX Student Writing Award to Janisha Williams.
Hello, everyone. Last time. You have to listen to me. So I'll start by saying I'm Jennifer Erickson, director here in Tacoma. Remembered it this time. I have the privilege of giving out the award called the Spirit of MEDEX Award. And did anyone else win it on faculty? No?
No, Jennifer, you're the only one.
Anyway, we have a new faculty member coming on board soon. She also won the Spirit of MEDEX Award, but as did I. And it's one of these things where this is an award that's given for you as a person. This is somebody who came into this class, and I'm going to be honest, I interviewed this person. I'm pretty sure I made him cry. But they came in and I thought, this person's too young to be here. They're too young. And then we started to really get to know each other, and I realized that this student really embodies the spirit of MEDEX. This is exactly why we do this. This is somebody who's going to go out and do a great job taking care of the community. But part of the Spirit of MEDEX Award, the person also usually goes through some sort of adversity or something in their life that makes them prove that they really need to be here and they really should be here. And so we had a student that went through an illness during their didactic year, would actually go to chemotherapy appointments and then come in and still pass their tests. I couldn't imagine doing that as a healthy person, let alone somebody who's feeling sick. And then during the summer, so she could go off to her clinical year, went and had had surgery as fast as she could so that she could go back out and finish clinical year and graduate on time. And so it is my supreme honor to present the Spirit of MEDEX Award to Bree Noel.
My name is Jonathan Maher. I'm a Tacoma faculty member. It's my privilege and honor to teach these guys emergency medicine. Some simple things I'm sure you'll hear in my voice for years to come. As Dr. James said, airway, breathing, circulation. And when in doubt, always broaden out your differential diagnosis. That way you've considered all the possibilities. So it is my honor to award today the Steve Turnestead Veterans Award for service to country, class, and community. As you guys have seen when we all stood up, there are a lot of great veterans in what was a great class, and it was my honor to teach all of you. So, making this decision was not an easy process. There were many good candidates. Two in particular stood out. These were a pair of students who challenged each other, but also supported each other and their classmates, and as a whole made for a better class with a better education. And yet, sometimes you need to come to a decision. There are a lot of difficult decisions to be made in medicine. So, Lily, would you please stand up? In the spirit of broadening your differential diagnosis, however, you need to consider, sometimes it's not what is the right answer or the best answer, but what is the right question. Glenn Sons, would you please stand up? It is my honor to award to Lily Briner and Glenn Sons the Steve Turnestead Veterans Award. Please come forward. If I get them mixed up, is it a problem? One more. Oh, no. You too. There we go. And then Rupert.
It is now the time we have all been waiting for. After 2.5 years of hardship, after probably pig blood, sweat, and tears, I have the honor of calling before you what once was our students is now our colleagues. I will now call the 2018 Tacoma Class 4, University of Washington, MEDEX PA program graduates. Yoreli Aguirre. Joseph Edward Arpea. Lex Barker. Tobias Levi Bankston. Alexander Vorshkovich. Reese Bradburn. Abigail Rebecca Brown. Lillowette Ann Briner. Stephen Berchecki. Mickey Patrick Cates. Jennifer Lynn Cha. Cecilia Velasquez Christensen. Sean Michael Conley.
Oh dear.
Devin Ray Dixon. Curtis Fonta. Ashley Morgan Garrison. Angela Michelle Laney. Robert Moore. Lisa Ann Motland. Bree Noel. Clifton Vincent Phillips. Olivia Leanne Price. Trevor Reeves. Charles Andrew Kerr Seiler. Mercedes Stakem Samich. Glenn Sons. Not in attendance, Winston Walker. Janisha Williams. Yelena Zepeda.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present to you the graduating class of Tacoma, Class 4. Well, sorry. So will the graduates please stand? Congratulations. I got a little confused there, but I actually had another thought on my mind. I wanted to say, put one more challenge in front of the graduates. You have one more challenge, and that is the National Certifying Exam. Go and knock it out of the ballpark, all right? Congratulations. Enjoy. So this concludes the formal ceremony, so thank you all for attending, and congratulations once again. Oh. And please come on stage, graduates, for that last photo.
Not really. I remember it was you.
Look, aren't you up here, bro? Second row. Behind me?
Oh, yeah, I like how you got the black letter. Oh, thanks, man. Your mine looks better. Yeah, that was actually the reason I got the block letters, because I saw yours and I thought, no.
Guys,